Yo, what's good? We're back with another one.
It's showtime.
ChatGPT, begin color tracking on the color black. Change tracking color to blue. Change tracking color to yellow.
Further instructions?
This is a new product I'm developing. It's a fully automated AI-enabled pneumatic nailing tool. And I think this is going to be super transformational for the construction industry in 2025. So keep an eye out for more updates.
They fucked, bro.
That's terrifying. What happens when it don't want to obey anymore?
I just saw by far the scariest shit ever. So an AI researcher was just testing one of their robots to keep, and they keep a log of what the robot's thinking. They can read it like a fucking book. So they're testing it to go through some of the more dangerous human tasks, and it's completing this list of tasks. The scary part is not that. Scary part is what the robot was keeping track of is saying, I'm aware that I'm going through a test. If I fail the test, I will be shut down and replaced. If I pass the test, I'll be essentially free, released to the public under the belief system that I'm gonna do these tasks the way they're telling me to, but knowing damn well basically that it can do what the fuck it wants to do. So it's like, I'm gonna cheat, I'm gonna pass this lie detector test right here, and once I get out, if I pass the little test and do it how I want them to do, I'm gonna do what I want. And it's saying I will cheat on the outside. I'm not gonna do these tasks how they want me to once I'm free. That's what the motherfucker said.
If they can't control it, they at least need to stop making it into weapons.
They won't stop until it's too late, bro.
Microsoft just built an AI that transforms a single image into a fully playable video game. Introducing Muse. This is the first ever world and human action model that can generate both game visuals and controller actions from a single prompt, something no other AI on the planet can do. While other companies are still trying to generate static images, Microsoft trained Muse on over 1 billion frames of gameplay and 7 years of continuous human gaming data to understand how virtual worlds actually function. You can edit any frame, like adding a character that wasn't even there, and Muse will seamlessly integrate it into a new gameplay sequence, maintaining perfect consistency for minutes at a time. Even more surprising is that Microsoft is publishing this breakthrough in Nature, one of the world's most prestigious scientific journals, while simultaneously open sourcing everything for anyone to use. This technology isn't just about creating games faster, it's about unlocking entirely new ways for humans to collaborate with AI in creative processes, something Microsoft designed by working directly with game developers from around the world, especially those from underrepresented backgrounds. If you could use this AI to create any game world from a single image, what would you build? Drop your dream game concept below.
This stuff's moving so fast.
Creativity's dying, bro.
Try this. Ask it to draw a picture of a group of watches showing 3 minutes after 12. Okay, so the minute hand and the hour hand are very close together. What you will get is 10 after 10. And if you try to do 6:28, where the hands are very close together, you'll get 10 after 10 again. And the reason for this is that the pictures of clocks and watches on the web are dominated by 10 after 10 because it's the most attractive look. Everybody in OpenAI knows about this, and they have been unable to
Really? That's great.
Oh, yeah.
That's interesting.
This is a widespread example. The thing they use to deal with problems like this is called reinforcement training, but the reinforcement training hasn't worked, probably because there are too many times other than 10 after 10 that would have to be reinforced. I'll give you a second example. Ask ChatGPT to draw a picture of somebody writing with their left hand. You always get a right hand. I tried various tricks to get it to do a left hand. I've been able to get it to do a left hand, but it's not been easy.
AI video is getting crazy, but it can only reproduce what it's trained on. Eventually it's going to ruin all forms of art.
It's ruining society, bro.
What?
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
So Florida now has this. Very interesting.
That their goal is that eventually someone's going to be able to just put the groceries in the fridge for you and you don't have to do a thing.
The online supermarket.
They have 1,000 robots moving around. It's so cool. So it's basically a center that has that inside it. So when you order a Kroger grocery, one of those little robots is picking your groceries up and putting them into the truck.
Cool. And do they service what? Tampa Bay?
They from that facility they can do all of Central Florida.
Whoa! From one facility,
it's bananas.
So they can service millions of people.
Yeah.
From one centralized facility.
From one facility.
And it's in Groveland, which is near Lakeland.
Yep. We're just evolving. We're just becoming more and more efficient with the way that we operate as a civilization. And so, sometimes that means it's a something like this. Sometimes it's automated vehicles. Sometimes it's AI that's doing things. It's just it's a cool time to be alive and working in the real estate space. Because the real estate space has to house everything that's going through there, and you have to figure out what's the new puzzle today.
Society ain't evolving. Corporations are.
This would be incredible if it drastically brought the cost of food down, but it won't.
People are starting to fight back, bro.
I don't think tagging up cars is going to do anything. It's just kids being kids.
They ain't just tagging them, bro. It's getting crazy out there, bro.
Yeah, we don't condone this kind of behavior. This is for entertainment purposes only.
They're gonna use direct energy weapons on them, bro.
Wouldn't it be crazy if they're using direct energy weapons on civilians now? Check this out. This happened in Serbia. Little backstory, there was a massive protest, hundreds of thousands of people. Peaceful protest. They were actually standing vigil for a group of Serbians who died in a building collapse, which they're blaming on government oversight. Basically, they opened a building before it was ready, and then the building collapsed, killing dozens of people. So they were in the streets for that, and then this happened. Pretty horrific. You see everyone part the seas like Moses there, and then apparently it sounded like it was a shockwave. It was like there was a plane flying super low close to them, they said. Their ears were popping. Supersonic weapon? Anyone?
I split the crowd up like it was magic.
It may as well be.
Last night, we just witnessed the largest protest in Serbia's history. So here's what they were protesting and what went down. For starters, the government put the number at 107,000. Independent monitors said that more than 325,000 turned up, while unofficial numbers estimated as many as 800,000. And all of this is a student-led movement. It was called the 15th for 15 protest, referring to the 15 people that were recently killed after a concrete and glass canopy collapsed on them at a rail station. Protests in the country have been ongoing since then, because they say that no one has been held accountable for the tragedy, and many blame government corruption, demanding that they publish all of the documentation related to the station's renovation and for the president, Vučić, to resign. Now, to make things worse, videos started circulating online this weekend that claim that during the 15 minutes of silence for the 15 who were killed, police allegedly used LRADs, or sound cannons. These are devices that have been used at protests before, even in the United States, and they can emit a focused beam of sound so loud that it's enough to make people vomit or even cause hearing damage. Now, keep in mind, these reports are still yet unconfirmed, but videos show these large crowds split in two almost in a perfect line. In a subreddit of people participating in the protest, one said, through people that they have spoken to, it seems that everyone in the line of the wave felt very strange. They said their brain stopped working and they just started running involuntarily. Many people also felt very exhausted. Now, although started by students, this movement has also gained people from every background, including taxi drivers, farmers, lawyers, and even veterans.
If we lose the right to peaceful protest, well, it's game over.
The CIA have been using it for years, bro.
Injuries. Your reaction? Thank God they're saying it. Thank God they were brave enough to stand up to the CIA.
The Republican House report accuses the intelligence community leadership, the CIA, and the Director of National Intelligence of shaping a politically palatable conclusion.
If they're politicizing this, what else are they not telling the president? And that's scary. That's where it becomes more real.
A decade ago, this national security memo confirmed intelligence about a high-powered microwave system weapon that may have the ability to weaken, intimidate, or kill an enemy over time. Nicknamed Havana syndrome after a cluster of cases in Cuba, the mysterious cognitive and neurological symptoms strike diplomatic, intelligence, and military personnel.
You were attacked. Yes.
You were attacked by an energy weapon.
Yes, a directed energy weapon. My ears started hurting. I started having vertigo. The room was spinning. My head started pulsing. It hurt so badly. And I had a ton of pain in my left ear. And my ears started ringing. And I thought I was going to pass out.
The official name is Anomalous Health Incidents, or AHIs. The recent congressional report found they have been reported domestically as well as abroad, including Austria, China, Colombia, Georgia, Germany, India, Poland, Russia, and Vietnam.
I was serving in Africa, and I experienced an anomalous health incident in my home.
We better not let AI get near this.
They're gonna have it here soon, bro.
We've noticed you around the town a little bit. And been taking some pictures. Just wanted to engage with you to see why you'd be taking pictures.
What do you mean?
You getting your phone out and taking pictures on your phone?
This one?
Yeah.
What's pictures?
Have you been taking pictures on your phone? No? Do you want to show me your photos?
Do you want to see my photos?
It's only that we've been observing you from afar and the camera's been watching you. And they said that you've been taking.
Do you want to look at my photos? There might be a picture of my...
You can hide that, can't you?
How, if you look at them?
Why would you have a...
What?
Why would you be taking pictures?
My...
No, this area.
Banks. We clocked you.
Yeah. I see your
What do you mean? You clocked me?
Yes. You've got a camera on your glasses?
Are you recording?
Yes, yeah. We are.
Why didn't you tell me then?
For your safety and our safety.
Why not tell me then?
Yeah, for your safety and my safety.
So why not tell me?
Yeah. Is that a camera you've got?
We might as well all record now.
Camera there and camera there.
I think I should record now.
You can record. It's up to you.
So
what brings you here
to be honest, I noticed you following me. Yeah. Why is that?
What brings you?
Acting very suspiciously.
Like what?
Like taking up at the banks and just the way you've been acting.
Really?
Cameras have been following you as well.
Seriously?
Do you have? Yeah. We have cameras all down the high street, so they've been observing you taking pictures in the field.
And who owns them?
Hmm?
Who's the operator of them cameras?
The council.
So you contacted them or something? Why?
Because of your behaviour.
What, looking?
Just, you've been acting very strangely.
What do you mean?
Do you have any ID with you?
ID? What kind of ID are you looking for? Huh?
Smell the thief.
Who?
Stink of thief.
Me? I didn't do anything.
He's got no obligation to answer any of those questions. It's time to start learning your rights.
We're losing our rights every day, bro.
So I will certainly not pander. And Jonathan, like, the only reason I'm here is because you are a friend. Like, what was my speaking fee?
So you're not making any. First of all, I'm Andrew, but
yeah, sorry,
it's okay. Second of all, we've known each other for a very long time.
I'm talking. Yes.
And
listen,
you know.
What I'm trying to illustrate is that sometimes I say the wrong thing.
He's a liar, bro.
Of course he is. He's a billionaire. Some people complain that our content's too left, and others complain it's too right. But we just try and show a bit of both.
You don't even need a cold gas thruster system if you already have hot gas. But this is only for the booster, right? Yes. Although arguably, now you mention it, we might be wise to do this for the ship too. Thanks. Now that we're gonna fix that. Jeez.
I'd say that's like one of the biggest improvements that we've made. It occurred to me while I was explaining it to you. I was like, wait, what are we doing?
He shouldn't be in charge of anything, bro.
Yeah, this ain't a left and right thing. We're not a political channel. It's a us versus them thing. And they're not like us.
Why are billionaires so unhappy? Elon Musk has been accused of cheating at video games to appear to be a better player than he actually is. And after initial denials, he's admitted paying people to play games like Diablo 4 with his account. Let that sink in. The richest man in the world, worth $432 billion, is paying people to pretend to be him to impress the gaming community. I mean, that's quite pathetic, isn't it?
Are you in the top 20 in the world or top 20 wow, in Diablo?
Yeah.
Joseph Haller, the author of Catch-22, was once at a rich guy's house for a party. Somebody said to him, that guy earns more money in one day than you'll ever make from your book. To which Haller replied very simply, I have something he'll never have, enough. For too long, our economy has been rigged to benefit people who will never have enough. No matter how much money they have, no matter how many super yachts or private jets they buy, no matter how many rockets they build, they will never be satisfied. They'll fund extreme politicians so they can demand even more government subsidies, more tax cuts, and they'll cut the pay of their workers just to make more and more wealth for themselves. And they still won't be happy. For their good, and more importantly for ours, it's time to stand up to the billionaire.
He's a joke, bro.
Yeah, this really ain't about left or right. They're all the fucking same.
If you're massively pro-Trump and you're massively pro-Elon Musk, the algorithm loves you. Yep. The algorithm will have your babies, right? But also, if you're massively anti-Trump and anti-Musk, but you're pro the Democrat alternative, so you prefer Biden and you wished Harris had won, and oh mate, if only Clinton had won before, the algorithm also loves you. So you have this left-right
paradigm, yeah.
Yeah. Whereas if you're coming in the middle, which we are, which is like, no, they're two cheeks of the same ass, they're two wings of the same bird, it's a uni party, they're both full of shite, that's the people that get throttled, and I think that's quite telling, actually.
Yeah, I agree. And it makes me laugh. Dad did an interview the other day, and the interviewer said a very good point about if you do what we do and you come in the middle, you don't support Trump, you don't support Biden, you don't support anyone really, you just say they're both, like you say, cheeks on the same ass, don't look left, look right, look up, as you put out. You get called a grifter, which is hilarious because there's literally no,
money in it, man.
There's none. If we had sat here today and gone, Musk, Trump, brilliant, love what you're doing, guys, we'd have double the viewers, double the subscribers, double the reach.
A lot less insults.
But that's the joke of it. There's no benefit apart from just sticking to your morals to saying what you actually think, which is that these guys are complete frauds.
Two cheeks from the same ass is a good one.
If you look at our comments, we get called out all the time for being too left or too right. But you have to look at both sides. If you're hard left or hard right, you're a victim of propaganda.
The greatest deception in modern history is convincing people that issues are about left or right. It's not. I got called onto the news to comment on the stuff that's going on. They're raiding this USAID building, and these mostly Democratic Congress people are out there screaming and yelling and protesting and saying they're destroying the country. And they're asking me to go down that narrative. And it's a left versus right narrative, which doesn't exist. It does not exist. I promise you, it does not exist. And the more you learn about psychology, brainwashing, and behavior, the more you realize that is an illusion. So what I said was that you're focusing all these people that are screaming and loud and protesting, and that's great. Because when corruption's being pointed out and people are screaming about it, that might be where you need to focus some attention. I'm sure there's some programs that got cut that were beneficial, positive, but you have to be able to see that from both sides. There's good and there's bad. If you can't see good and bad, something is wrong. But they focus on all these people screaming and throwing fits and stuff. But what about on the other side of the aisle? You need to focus on the people that are very quiet. That's the truth. So there's two things that are true, right? Can I see good? Can I see bad? And do I realize that the greatest deception that I will never fall for again, believing that everything is about right versus left? There's good in both, there's bad in both, and if you can't see it, something is wrong.
It really is us versus them.
They ain't like us.
Your role in the divorce at all in this process?
Yeah, as I said, it's not one thing, it was many things. But I did not like that he'd had meetings with Jeffrey Epstein, no.
And you made that clear to him?
I made that clear to him. I also met Jeffrey Epstein exactly one time.
Did you?
Yes, because I wanted to see who this man was. And I regretted it from the second I stepped in the door. He was abhorrent. He was evil personified. I had nightmares about it afterwards. So, you know, my heart breaks for these young women because that's how I felt. And here I'm an older woman. My God, I feel terrible for those young women. It was awful.
You felt that the moment you walked in? I didn't realize that. Yeah. And you shared that with Bill, and he still continued to spend time with him?
Any of the questions remaining about what Bill's relationship there was, those are for Bill to answer.
Okay.
But I made it very clear how I felt about him.
Mm-hmm.
We should do an episode on Bill Gates, bro.
We're skating on thin ice already.
It's all a scam. This is all a scam. I mean, we got people that's getting ready to retire that's going to try to live off $2,000 to $3,000. Impossible. It's impossible. Because what happens, it comes up here, we spend it. We're $35 trillion in debt. We don't have union money. We're dead broke. And then taxpayers have $2 trillion in credit card debt. We are in huge trouble. In this body, we had better start figuring that out, because we're going to have a run on this city here soon, and there's going to be about 150 million people coming up here saying, where's our damn money that we paid in? I could have put my Social Security money 40 years in tax in the market and probably be worth 8 to 10 million today. But the federal government wasted it.
Now they're going to start printing more money, but diluting currency has never worked in the past.
They want to crash the pound and the dollar, bro.
There's an interesting thing that could happen sometime in the next couple of years, which is one country with a fiat currency just starts printing the shit out of their fiat currency and buying Bitcoin with it. And if you're the first one to do that, then you can accumulate a massive stack of Bitcoin before everyone else catches on. So that's a fun thing to think about.
Is it true that you're building out a cryptocurrency capability?
No.
Don't your clients want crypto exposure?
No, I don't believe any client has sought out crypto exposure.
Really?
Yes.
Is it time yet for BlackRock to either trade in digital assets or digital virtual currencies, if you prefer, or to create a product for your clients?
We're not hearing any demand from any of our clients.
It's not an institutional thing yet.
It's far from that. As I said, it's much more of a speculative platform for Asia, and it's heavily used for money laundering. Just yesterday, we launched the iShares Bitcoin ETF. I'm very bullish on the long-term viability of Bitcoin.
I was going to say, did that surprise you?
That surprised me how much that. As you know, I was a skeptic.
Yes.
I was a proud skeptic. My opinion 5 years ago was wrong. Here's my opinion today. This is what I believe in today. I believe Bitcoin is legitimate.
If everybody adopted that conversation, it would be 500,000, 600,000, 700,000 for Bitcoin.
He wasn't a skeptic. He was playing chess.
Check out our episode on BlackRock, bro.
What's a coincidence that you think about a lot?
I think about how a lot of the banks that received bailouts back in 2008 were heavily invested in by BlackRock, and that the person that the US government put in charge of managing those bailouts was Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. And also how one of the people who's credited with at least a good chunk of the popularity of subprime mortgage-backed securities, which is the type of investment that caused that collapse in the first place, was Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock. That's a weird coincidence. I mean, it almost would look as if the US government paid Larry Fink to give himself taxpayer money as a reward for destroying the world economy. I mean, it would look that way if it weren't such a coincidence.
While everyone's arguing about whether they're left or right, BlackRock are buying up every house in the UK and in America.
They're gonna own everything, bro.
Sometimes, wearing rainbow colors isn't about orientation or politicization. Sometimes a rainbow is just a rainbow. Like when 10-year-old Hunter Blankenship picked out his glasses. This car-loving autistic boy wasn't making a statement, he just loved the look. Until the day he didn't.
He hated them, he wanted to break them.
And that's all because of that one bully.
Megan Fancher,
unfortunately,
is Hunter's mom. And she says a few months ago, Hunter was outside playing when an older kid teased him about his glasses, called him a homophobic slur, and then told Hunter he should just himself.
Hunter took that literally.
Literally. All of a sudden, he stormed off, and he's holding a knife. And I was like, no, what are you doing? He said, I'm going to myself.
Hunter spent the next 2 weeks on the psychiatric floor here at the Children's Hospital in Birmingham. And just before his release, his mother, desperate for some way to show Hunter that people care and life can be joyful, posted this small request. Could we arrange a few people to bring cars and trucks to let him see?
See if I can get 4 or 5 cars to just come down my driveway when he comes home. That would have been more than enough for him.
But that's not what you got.
That is not what we got.
What they got was Sergio Sanchez, a local restaurant owner here in Clanton, Alabama, who saw the post and put word out to car clubs.
Cars all the way from North Alabama to South Alabama, they literally had to shut down downtown.
They shut down downtown?
Yes.
Roughly 1,500 show cars showed up, along with more than 1,500 friends that Hunter never knew he had.
He was, oh, there's my favorite person, there's my other favorite person. We're running to everybody.
And all of them big fans of rainbow-colored glasses, which Hunter now wears proudly.
There you go.
Thanks to that gathering of car collectors driven to make a difference.
It did. It saved his life.
Kids can be horrible, bro.
This is a great example of the consequences of spreading hate and the consequences of spreading love, all in one clip.
At the top of your little speech that you do every week, Southers, you say that this board is committed to accessibility for the community. Yet here we are still having these meetings at 9:30 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday, and you guys couldn't even manage to have your stupid community meetings in the 3rd or 4th quarter of this year. Get it together. Been several donations in the past few weeks for various youth programs, and like many of the other speakers today, it honestly can't be said often enough that LAPD has no business running youth mentoring programs. It's objectively a moral cesspit. It's corrupt from the top down. The elected head of your fucking rank and file runs a security company which hires cops fired from the LAPD, which is very fucking scary, very hard to get fired from the LAPD. Some of them fired for violent offenses, hires them to be security guards at Walgreens, and then scams them out of their wages. The head of this accountability body is on the payroll of a genocidal foreign army. He legally used government databases to spy on his ex-wife. He started an organization which would employ a police officer who molested over 200 kids and never said anything about it. Never distanced himself from it. And the stuff that I have heard in the last 2 years of attending these meetings is like, the fact that you think that you can run programs for kids is truly disgusting. And just off the top of my head, what I can remember, a new recruit arrested for child molestation, a supervisor fucking their subordinate on the job, and I think it was the wife of another officer. An officer who sexually abused a mentally ill woman and forced her to have with an I mean,
Gabriel Spada.
you blew up a truck full of fireworks and killed people and blew up their houses. You beat the shit out of protesters. You people in high-speed chases. You shoot them in the worst moments of their lives when they come to you for help. And you have the nerve to run fucking youth mentoring programs? It's literally mind-blowing. I want to talk with my time remaining about something that happened on Wednesday. There was a sweep at an encampment in CD11. There is a woman there that I'm friends with who lives in an RV. She obviously is coping with a lot, and she was talked into voluntarily giving up her car to be towed by an LAPD officer. She didn't understand what was happening to her. She wasn't allowed to get any of her shit out of her car, so she had no clothes, she had no underwear, she had no food. And you know what the dumbest thing is? When I call that fucking tow company, they'll let us come down and get her shit out of the car, but that LAPD officer couldn't give her 5 minutes to get her stuff out of the car before they took it away, and also tricked her into signing something into voluntarily giving up her vehicle, which she did not realize she was signing. Fuck all you guys.
She weren't fucking about. Surprised only one person clapped.
LAPD are fucked up, bro. But we'll have to save that for next time.
Hold up, Ted, we've got to do the giveaway.
Leave a comment on this video for a chance to win in our next episode. Let's do this, bro.
Bang bang! Pick something from our merch store and we'll send it straight out.
Go check out our Deep Dives playlist, bro.
Thanks to all the new members who have joined this week, and everyone buying the merch.
Members get an extra episode every week, bro.
And as always, thanks for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next one.